Hello, people of God. This is my Jacob Sweet TV, and I am Dupi Dupi Singer. This is episode 156. I'm still talking about God's gold. The truth of the matter is that I can write a, a whole pamphlet, maybe not a book, on all the revelations that God had shown me concerning God's gold. At a point, I'm not a scientist, so I also had to learn. I had to learn. There was a day I had prepared my herbs and put in a bucket. And in truth, the first few days, maybe 1 week after, it will start to have the smell of fermentation. And you almost be put off. And I used to ask God, why are you asking me to do a smelly thing? You know? And one day, my daughter looked at what I had prepared in a bucket, my first daughter. She opened the bucket and the stench came out. And she said, Mommy, why are you deceiving yourself? Mommy, why are you deceiving yourself? This thing is no good. Go and throw it away. Meanwhile, I had, even in that smelly state, I'd used it for almost everything and it had worked. Go and throw this thing away. It's no good. It's smelly. It's spoiled. Can't you see? And that day, I took the bucket and I threw it inside the whole bucket. The liquids that had formed inside the bucket, I poured it into the toilet. And as I was pouring it away, I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit saying to me, that thing you are pouring away can heal a whole world, a large world of sick people in the hospital. I heard him very clearly. But by the time he had spoken, when he had ended his word, I had finished throwing all the thing away. I shut my daughter out. I shut everybody out. Locked the door. Knelt down. With tears in my eyes, I said to the Lord, don't take this thing away from me, please. Help me. Help me. Lord, help me. I told you I couldn't remember two things, other things that the Lord told me that the thing could do. He told me I could use it for blood pressure, and he told me, I've told you to talk about fertility, I've talked about I'm trying to look for the word that describes elderly people. You can use for the elderly and the aged. You can use it for weight loss. You can use it for. So I started learning more and more. So I told the Lord, forgive me, Lord, forgive me. I don't take it away from me. I will do another bucket full and I will wait. And this time I waited for a much longer time. And after almost 1 month, I discovered that all the smell had gone. And it was as if the thing had healed itself, as if it has cured itself. All the foaminess and all the other things that looked very dirty were gone. At a point, I had to go and look for a scientist to ask questions. And I described to him my experiences. He told me that the smell was the smell of fermentation. You remember, people at this time, this part of the world, that if your mother was preparing herbs, she will boil the herbs the first day, and she will keep boiling every other day. If not, it will go bad. And the going bad is not really that it has gone bad, it is that it is fermenting. So it was a process of the leaf becoming the medication. It was taking its own time. And at the end of the day, it will no more smell. It will be quiet. And that's the way, because initially, sometimes it can be foamy and all that. Indeed, I found out later that, like the Holy Spirit said to me, the one I threw away could have truly healed a ward full of sick people in the hospital. Then one day I had another revelation. I saw scientists from all different nations of the world. They came, I see from all the parts of the world. They were wearing their overall, the laboratory thing that the scientists wear, a white overall. And I saw the leaf in the revelation. They had actually come to search, to talk about the leaf or something. They were all carrying their files and notebooks as if they wanted to find something out. But it was only me that the leaf was talking to. And it was as if the wind was blowing the leaf like this. And as the wind was blowing the leaf was speaking to me. It said, I am the only one kind of my type in the whole world. I am the only one kind of my type in the whole world. Even if you go to the United States of America, you will not find me there. Even if you go to the United States of America, you will not find me there. And the leaf was blowing, the wind was blowing the leaf and all that. I don't think the scientists heard. But I heard. When that revelation was gone, I sat down, meditated on it, and I made up my mind that the liquid that I will make from this leaf is likely to cure many so far incurable diseases. So I started looking for a cancer patient. I said to everybody, do you know where a cancer patient is? Do you know where a cancer patient is? The first cancer patient I got was far away in Abeokuta. It is almost like the traffic, maybe 3 hours drive from my home. A hospital there. Somebody told me I have a woman that had cancer of the breast there. One day, I picked my car and faced Abeokuta. I was happy to even have a chance to meet a cancer patient. And I got to Abeokuta safely. I went to the hospital. I met the woman. The whole world was smelling. Cancer wounds can smell, especially when it is external, you know. And she was very sick. So I told her, I said, I don't know what God wants to do, but the Lord has shown me that this thing can cure diseases that have not no cure for so long. That if she will be trusting God with me, that she should take it like I have prescribed. I have prescribed it, and that she will see what God has done. Somehow she agreed to use it. It was not only for her to use it, it was for her to also pour it on her wound, to use it to dress her wound. Then I left Abeokuta and came back to Lagos. At least I have pursued my purpose, and I left the rest in God's hand. Then the lady that told me about this patient, this cancer patient in Abeokuta, um, Augustina. God bless you, Augustina. God will always bless you for that because God used you to start me off. I pray that God will bless you in all your ways, in everything that you do. Augustina called me one day and said to me that she went to visit the woman in Abeokuta and that I should guess what. I said, what? She said she was bleeding from her breast. Was bleeding from her breast. I don't know why I asked that question, but I asked, is it fresh blood or decayed blood? She told me very fresh blood, very fresh blood, very fresh blood. Right. But she was bleeding. That day I was very sad and I said to God, why do you want to disgrace me? You gave me something and you told me that you will cure something and the person is bleeding now. What kind of thing is this? I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit that said to me, what about blood? Don't you know that blood is life? It didn't make any sense to me, but I heard him. I took my journey to Abeokuta the next day because I thought I had brought trouble to this woman. I went there, I got to her ward, there was no smell, and I did not find her on her bed. I was scared, I was afraid that she had died. As the people that were there with her in the ward saw me and they saw my countenance, they asked me if I was looking for that person that uses that bed or used that bed. I said yes. They said she's just taking a walk, that she has gone to stroll all over the hospital. They said to me she's been so well that she can now get up and stroll around the hospital. I couldn't believe it. It took a while for her to return, and truly she has strolled around the hospital. She was well, in quotes. Before you knew it, the hospital had told her, take your things and go away. And you do not know the miracle that you have performed. Or something is happening, or just go away because this is cancer in any way. They were sure that it would be terminal for her. It was not until 1 week or so afterwards that I met with my cousin, Mrs. Murenike Kokoyu, who are the medical director for Federal FAA in Nigeria before. And I told her my story. I needed to share my story with a medical person. I told her and she looked at me and said, did you say fresh blood? I said yes. She said, did you see fresh blood? She asked me about 3 times. I was already afraid. She said, you can hardly find fresh blood from a cancerous wound. Fresh blood means life. It means that life is getting back into that wound. And what you usually get from a cancerous wound is decayed blood and stench. But if you say that the stench had disappeared and the blood was fresh, he said to me, just take your time. Life is returning back to that woman. It was that day in the middle of the night, I laid flat on the floor and gave all the glory to the God of heaven. And incidentally, the woman was discharged and she happened to live not too far away from my home. So I monitored her and went to visit her very often. And she was getting better and better by the day. This is my Jacob's Way TV. I'm Dupi Dupi Singer. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and do all the needful. I don't think that's the end to the story of God's Gold. I told you I can write a whole book on it. I'll be back not so long from now. God bless you. Bye bye.